I wanted to chat about Arsenal for a minute here. Firstly, and did you see what Declan Rice said today?
I did. Well, I see it because you sent it. That's how I see it.
I sent it to you guys. I thought it was really interesting that what Declan Rice said, because City fans all year have tried to say Rice didn't reject us. Turns out he did, according to Rice. And Rice has basically said that he preferred the project to Arsenal and the role that he would have within the project. So not saying he didn't say that Arsenal will be more successful. He said, I liked my role within the project to Arsenal more. That's why I rejected Manchester City for Arsenal. Do you boys think he's made the right choice, though, turning down City to play for Arsenal?
Well, if it's about enjoyment and the role that he wants to play on the pitch, then yeah, if that's more important to him than trophies, then he's made the right choice. Because look, at the end of the day, you got to enjoy your football. You got to enjoy where you play. I had Chelsea fans for years saying, "Oh yeah, Declan Rice is going to come to us and he's going to play centre back." And I told them, Declan Rice will never come to you to play centre back. He will never.
I remember those conversations. Yeah.
I said he don't want to. He don't want to play centre back. He wants to play in the midfield. That's what he wants to get.
He doesn't even want to be a DM. Dean Jones told us for years he wants to get further forward. Yeah.
That's what he was doing. Like towards the last couple of years while he was at West Ham, he was focusing on trying to get forward more. And there was a big conversation about how Souček suffered because he had to step back, and that's why his goals were drying up because he had to cover for Rice getting forward so much. So. Yeah, like that is a massive motivation for Rice. And if Arsenal were going to give him that and say, yeah, we're going to give you the free reign to go forward and try and score more goals and things like that. Yeah, I can see that being a factor. If that's more important to him than trophies, then yeah, he's made the right decision because they're giving him that free reign.
Why do you keep saying that? Why do you keep saying more important than trophies? Why you always put that caveat in
because trophies... He's got more chance of
because you're telling us that you don't think Arsenal will win trophies.
No, I'm not saying Arsenal won't win.
You just said that.
No. What I'm saying is that if he chose Man City, he has a hell of a lot more chance of winning trophies. Like if your basis is I'm going to choose a club to win trophies, my option is Man City or Arsenal. Who are you choosing? You're choosing Man City. If it comes down to just trophies,
okay, what if Pep Guardiola leaves next season?
But
Declan Rice is 24. Okay, Declan Rice is 24 years old. I hear what you're saying. So it all depends on Pep if he's staying or not, right?
This Pep thing.
We all know. Okay, we all think that when Pep leaves, it's not going to be the same. Pep is the only manager in the more recent history that will guarantee you that you're going to be, even when you're bad season, you're favorites to win the league that you're in, right? That doesn't happen often. Look at Liverpool now. Jurgen Klopp is leaving. They're saying they're going to challenge for top 4. So you're assuming that Pep Guardiola would stay. If the reports are right and Pep Guardiola, there are conflicting reports. Right? If he leaves in 2025, that means Declan Rice would have played with him 2 years. They already lost the Champions League this season. They can end up with 1 cup. Arsenal still can win the league. They're not favorites, right? But next season, Arsenal go again. And if Pep leaves after this, Arsenal are more stable. Am I wrong?
No, but this is the thing on the Pep. First of all, there's been reports about Pep leaving for years. Next season's his last season. He's still here, and then years later, he's still here. So that's all speculation. I'm not sure you're gonna make a decision going, no, I'm not gonna go Man City because there's reports that he might leave. Like if you really believe in paper talk, but still, this idea of Pep leaving, that's Man City done. Like
no one said that.
City, yeah, but Man City was still a dominant team. They maybe not as dominant as they have been under Pep, but under Pellegrini, under Mancini, they were winning trophies, like multiple. They were still a heavy hitter, and I think that they've got. And we talk about infrastructure. Let's just discount. We don't know what's going to happen with all the charges, right? But infrastructure-wise, everything on the surface, they're a well-run club. They've got good infrastructure.
From 2008 to 2017, Dan. 18, I'm sorry. From 2008 to 2018. Okay. Mm-hmm. They won 3 league titles. Okay, let's go to 2017 before Pep. They won 2 league titles. 2008, since the takeover, they won 2 league titles. They're successful. They won some cups, but they won 2 league titles.
Okay, but their project didn't just like get a takeover and then now boom, we're a heavy hitter. Their project had to build, they had to grow, and they had to sign. They couldn't just go and sign all the heavy hitters. And
I'm not saying Man City will fall. Then I'm not saying that Man City will fall. I'm saying, looking at this, if you put it, it's a trophy, yes. But Declan Rice is 24 years old, right? He can stay in Arsenal for like 7 years or something like this. The way the guy's athletic, the way the guy plays, if Arsenal go to the top and they play, and it doesn't look like Man United are coming back anytime soon, Chelsea, I don't know, Liverpool, what is going to happen to them? Arsenal can win trophies as well, right?
Yeah,
Like, guys,
I think listen, I love what you guys are talking about. I think it's this way. I think the role within the team's important. Maybe he was told by Man City, you're going to be, back up to Rodri at DM, and you'll play this role every now and then. And Rice was like, well, actually, Arsenal offered me the role I want on a more regular basis, and that is far more appealing to me. At the same time, there's a calculated risk that he's taken. And I think he believes that Arsenal can go on to win the major trophies. But there's a much less of a guarantee than at Man City. But if Declan Rice is one of the lead men, one of the leaders that does win in the Prem this season, or does win in the Premier League next year, does win Arsenal their first Champions League, does win them a couple of Premier Leagues and some other trophies, maybe Declan Rice views it as, from a legacy point of view, being involved in that Arsenal team could propel him to a different level of greatness, to joining an already great team where he's fighting up against multiple other legends for his sort of own legacy to kind of stand out. And I think it's an element of that. And it's a calculated risk because Arsenal may go on to win none of those major trophies, and you do a little bit of a Harry Kane. Harry Kane, I think, stayed at Spurs when he did, because each time he signed a new deal, it was thought, based on the manager they had or where they were in the league, that they could go on. And I can totally understand why in the earlier days he thought, if I stay here and I'm like the top goal scorer in a Spurs title winning or a Spurs Champions League winning team, that's huge. That's massive. That's such an achievement to go and do. But it didn't work out. So I don't think it's a disrespect to Man City. I just think that I think it's about winning trophies. I think it's about legacy. But I think Declan Rice is playing a little bit more of a, he's going for, not going for broke, but he's going on, when you bet on the Grand National, okay, you got the 2 or 3 favorites and nearly always win, but he's going for a little bit of I'm not going to go for 100 to 1 horse, but I want to go for a little 12 to 1 horse each way, at the opportunity of maybe winning a bit bigger, winning in a way that stands out a little bit more. And I think that I kind of like that bravery. I think there's an element of that I like that. I think it shows that he believes in himself and he believes in the team that he's joining. But there's also that risk there that it could go wrong, where if he joined City, it'd probably be, Arsenal wouldn't have been as good this year. It'd probably be a Premier League winner. It'd probably be an FA Cup winner. But would he be the main man? Would he be one of the main men? Would he be one of the standout stars? I don't know if he would be. And I think that's what he's gone for here. But it is a calculated risk, and I quite like it.
I like what Terry said, and I want to add to it. In the beginning of the season, I said he's crazy to reject Man City and go to Arsenal, right? But in hindsight now, him being in contention for player of the season, I never thought that Declan Rice has that. He bet on himself. The guy took the bet on himself to be one of the main people in the Premier League. And as Terry said, if the guy went to Man City, he'd be just one of the guys. There'll be Rodri, Foden, KDB, Haaland, this and that above him. At the current moment, he's the main man in a club, right, that is challenging for the Premier League. He bet on it. I didn't know that Declan Rice has it in him to be that brilliant of a player, to be arguably now, and I said it, he's the most consistent player in the Premier League this season. He deserves Player of the Year for me already. In my opinion, by the way, he deserves Player of the Year already.
West Ham, not born and bred, but pretty much.
By the way, for the people that say Rodri, for the people that say Rodri and not Rodri, I'm not comparing him to Rodri's career or what Rodri did last season. Rodri is one of the best DMs I've seen in my life. But I'm talking about this season. Declan Rice has been the most consistent player. He bet on himself and he won the bet already. For Declan Rice to be in contention for Player of the Year in the Premier League, no one thought that will happen this season. And if he joined Man City, he would not be even in the conversation.
I thought he could do it though, and I always praised him. I watched him at West Ham, and I just saw such a good player. And I used to get so perplexed every weekend when I'm driving rated English tax. That's all I ever heard from people. And Declan Rice has proven so many people wrong this year. And I mean, look, he's not doing it at my club, which is gutting. But look, I am a little bit biased because he's English in the sense of I've always said this. I want every single English player that comes through at every club to be amazing, because it helps my country try and win, right? So there's an element there, but I always knew he could be this good, and I think he has made a calculated risk.